Money Ape got the raise, finally. After 18 months of staying late, eating sad desk lunches, smiling through meetings that could have been emails, and watching Gerald from accounting get promoted twice for reasons nobody could explain, Money Ape got the raise, 12%. Which, if you do the math, is actually more money than Money Ape made the entire first year at the job. More money, every single month. So money. Ape did what any self-respecting ape would do. Called the family. Went to that restaurant, the one with the cloth napkins, not paper cloth, and ordered the thing on the menu without a price next to it, because that's what rich people do, right? If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Money Ape could afford it now, probably. And for about 3 weeks, life was genuinely, spectacularly good. Then something very strange happened. Money Ape stopped feeling it. The bigger paycheck hit the account, and Money Ape just scrolled past the notification. The number was bigger, yes, but somehow it felt exactly like the old number. Normal, ordinary, like it had always been this way. The excitement evaporated, the joy vanished, and weirdly, Money Ape started looking around and thinking, wait, I still can't afford that car. I still can't afford that neighborhood. I still feel like I'm barely keeping up. Money Ape got more money and somehow felt just as broke. How is that even possible? Today, we are going to explain exactly what happened inside Money Ape's brain. Why it happens to basically every single human being on the planet, and most importantly, what to actually do about it so you can stop running and start winning. This is the story of the Hedonic Treadmill, and it is one of the most important things about money that nobody teaches you in school. Let's start with a quick science lesson. And don't worry, Money Ape promises to keep this short because nobody came here for a biology lecture. Deep inside your brain, there's a system scientists call it the Dopamine Reward System, and its entire job is to make you feel good when something good happens. New job. Dopamine spike. Raise? Dopamine spike. New phone? Dopamine spike. Cloth napkin restaurant? Big dopamine spike. But here's the thing about dopamine that your brain's manufacturer conveniently forgot to put in the manual. Dopamine is not a happiness storage tank. It's a happiness alarm. It goes off when something is new, surprising, or better than expected. But the moment your brain decides this is now normal, the alarm shuts off. It has to. Because if your brain kept firing dopamine at full power for everything you already have, it would have no energy left to notice new things. No energy left to stay alert. No energy left to survive. So your brain does something incredibly clever and incredibly annoying at the same time. It resets. Whatever good thing happened to you. That's the new baseline now. That's zero. And you need something even better to feel the same hit you felt before. Scientists call this hedonic adaptation. Normal people call it, why can't I ever just be satisfied? Money Ape calls it the treadmill problem, because that is exactly what it feels like. You run as hard as you can, you get somewhere good, and then the treadmill speeds up and you're back in the same spot, having to run even faster just to stay level. And this is not a character flaw. This is not because you are greedy or ungrateful or bad with money. This is ancient biological programming that was genuinely useful for your ancestors, who needed to keep seeking food and shelter and safety even after a good day of hunting. The problem is, that same programming is now running in a world full of online shopping, social media, Instagram vacation photos, and a notification every time someone else seems to be doing better than you. Your ancient brain was not built for this, and Money Ape's ancient brain was definitely not built for this. Now let's talk about golden bananas, because this is where it gets really interesting. Imagine, Money Ape is walking through the jungle and spots a golden banana hanging from a tree. Beautiful, shiny, smells incredible. Money Ape works hard, climbs the tree, grabs the banana, eats it. Amazing, pure joy, for about 3 days. Then Money Ape looks up and sees a bigger, shinier, more golden banana on a taller tree. And suddenly the banana Money Ape just ate doesn't feel like enough anymore. It feels small, ordinary, like the kind of banana poor apes eat. So Money Ape climbs the next tree, grabs the bigger banana, eats it, 3 days of joy, looks up again. There's another one, bigger, shinier, higher up. This is the golden banana trap. And almost every bad financial decision Money Ape has ever made, or will ever make, can be traced right back to it. Lifestyle inflation. That's the scientific name. You get more money, and instead of keeping expenses the same and saving the difference, your expenses quietly, sneakily, almost invisibly grow to swallow the new money whole. You upgrade the apartment because you can. Then you need nicer furniture to match the apartment. Then you need a nicer car because you don't want it parked outside the nice apartment looking embarrassing. Then you need nicer clothes because you're driving the nicer car. And before Money Ape even realizes what happened, every single extra dollar is gone, and there's somehow even less room to breathe than before. The raise didn't make Money Ape richer. The raise just made the baseline more expensive. And this is happening to millions of people right now. People making 5 times what they made 10 years ago, feeling exactly as financially stressed as they did back then. Some of them feeling worse. The treadmill got faster, and they never noticed they were still on it. Okay, so the treadmill is bad enough on its own. But then the internet came along and made everything about 300% worse. Here's the thing your brain does naturally, completely without your permission, every single day. It compares, constantly. Your brain is always running a background program that is checking, am I doing better or worse than the people around me? This is called social comparison. And again, it was actually useful for your ancestors. In a small tribe, knowing where you stood relative to everyone else was critical information. Are you higher or lower in the group? Do you have more or less resources? This information could genuinely affect your survival. But now, the tribe your brain is comparing itself to is not 30 people who live in the same area and have roughly the same resources as you. The tribe is everyone on the internet. Everyone. Simultaneously. All day. Money Ape scrolls through social media and the brain doesn't see the full picture. It doesn't see the debt behind the vacation. It doesn't see the credit card behind the car. It doesn't see the arguments about money that happened 2 hours before the perfect family photo was taken. It sees the highlight reel, the curated, filtered, strategically timed best moments of people who, by the way, are also secretly comparing themselves to other people and feeling just as inadequate. So Money Ape sees someone else's golden banana, and the brain immediately decides, I don't have enough. I need more. And every single time Money Ape resets to a new baseline, there is a fresh wave of people online who appear to be ahead of it. The comparison engine never runs out of material. It never gives you a day off. This is why someone can earn 10 times the national average and still feel broke. It's not because they don't have enough. It's because the people they're unconsciously comparing themselves to always seem to have just a little bit more. The treadmill has a social setting, and most of us have it cranked to maximum without even knowing. All right, we've spent some time understanding the problem, which is the sad and uncomfortable part. Now let's talk about what the research actually shows, because here's the genuinely surprising twist in this story. Scientists have studied happiness, really studied it, tracked people for years, run all the data, looked at lottery winners and people who earned huge promotions and people who bought their dream homes, and the results are both humbling and kind of freeing. After a short adjustment period, none of those things made people sustainably happier, but a few things actually do. First, experiences beat stuff. Every time. The science on this is remarkably consistent. Buying a thing gives you a spike and then fades quickly because the thing becomes part of your background reality. But experiences, a trip, a concert, a cooking class, a ridiculous adventure with friends, they get better over time because you remember them, you talk about them, they become stories. Your brain can't fully adapt to a memory the way it adapts to a sofa. Second, progress feels better than arrival. This is huge. The dopamine doesn't really fire when you're sitting at the destination. It fires when you're moving toward it. Money Ape feels the most alive not when it's already at the top of the tree, but when it's climbing. This is why setting up a savings goal and watching a number grow toward it can feel surprisingly satisfying. You're giving your brain the progress signal it's actually hungry for. Third, connection beats consumption. This one is almost unfair in how obvious it sounds and how consistently people ignore it. The strongest predictor of reported happiness in almost every long-term study is the quality of your relationships. Not your net worth, not your square footage, your relationships' money. Ape spending money on experiences with people it loves is fighting the treadmill from multiple angles at once. And fourth, and this is the one that changes everything, anticipation is often better than the thing itself. Your brain releases dopamine when you're looking forward to something, sometimes even more than when you get it. Which means a modest planned trip 3 months away can give you more joy than a spontaneous, expensive purchase today. The science is basically saying, slow down, plan ahead, spend on experiences and people, and stop buying stuff to feel better. Which, for Money Ape impulse buying at 2 a.m., is inconvenient information. Now here's where we get to the part Money Ape actually needed someone to explain years ago. Because knowing the problem is one thing, knowing what to actually do about it is another. Hack number 1. Automate before your brain notices the money. The reason lifestyle inflation happens so effortlessly is because Money Ape sees the bigger paycheck and the brain goes, oh, there's more. Let's spend more. It happens before conscious decision-making even gets involved. So the fix is to make the decision before the paycheck arrives. Every raise, every windfall, every bonus, before you see it in your account, a portion goes automatically into savings or investments. The treadmill can only inflate your lifestyle with money it can actually see. Hide the money first, and your baseline never gets a chance to adjust upward. Hack number 2. Reintroduce scarcity on purpose. This sounds slightly insane, but stay with Money Ape here. You know how coffee tastes better when you really need it? How the weekend feels incredible specifically because the week exists? Absence creates appreciation. It is not a cliche. It is dopamine mechanics. If Money Ape gets a fancy coffee every single morning, the brain adapts. It becomes normal, baseline, no spike. But if Money Ape has simple coffee 4 days a week and the good coffee on Friday coffee tastes unbelievably good. The occasional treat hits harder than the daily one. Deliberately spacing out pleasures keeps them feeling like pleasures. Hack number 3. Gratitude is not soft, it's neurological. Writing down 3 things you're grateful for is not just self-help fluff. Studies on this consistently show that it literally interrupts the adaptation cycle by forcing your brain to re-notice things it has already filed as background. You're essentially hacking the reset button, making your brain go, wait, actually, this is good. This is still good. Money Ape. Keeping a list of things it has now that it used to desperately want is a surprisingly powerful practice. Past you would be absolutely floored by your current life. Present you forgot to notice. Hack number 4. Upgrade identity, not lifestyle. This is the advanced level. Instead of using extra money to buy more things, Money Ape can use it to invest in becoming a different kind of ape. Skills, health, knowledge, community. These things compound. They don't just add to your baseline, they change what your baseline is capable of producing. Money spent on becoming more is the one kind of spending the treadmill can't swallow because growth doesn't feel like maintenance. It feels like momentum. And hack number 5. Set a good enough floor and protect it. Most people have a ceiling, the dream life they're always chasing. Very few people have a floor, the minimum life they're genuinely happy with. Defining your enough is radical in the best way. What is the actual life that would make Money Ape feel genuinely content? Not the Instagram life, the real life. Write it down, price it out. Then protect that number fiercely. Everything above it is for building wealth, not upgrading the baseline. And now we've arrived at the part of the story that matters most. Money Ape is still in the jungle. The raise happened. The treadmill is spinning. The comparison engine is running in the background, scanning the horizon, finding someone else who seems to have a better banana. And Money Ape has a choice. The first path is the default path. Keep climbing. Spend the raise, adjust the lifestyle, get comfortable at the new level, feel the same dissatisfaction, wait for the next raise, spend that too. The treadmill speeds up and Money Ape keeps running, slightly out of breath, always feeling like the destination is just one more raise away. This path is not bad. Most people are on it. It's just that it doesn't go anywhere. You work for decades and arrive exactly where you started, financially and emotionally, just more tired. The second path is harder. It requires Money Ape to look at the shiny golden banana hanging up on the tall tree and say, not yet. Not because I can't have it, but because I see what you are. I see that you are not the destination. I see that the moment I eat you, my brain will file you as normal and start looking for the next one. The second path is choosing to be aware of the treadmill while you're standing on it, to invest the raise instead of spending it, to upgrade your freedom instead of your furniture, to measure your wealth not by how much you earn, but by how long you could live well without needing to earn at all. The second path is slower. It is less immediately satisfying. It will not generate any impressed reactions when you mention it at parties. But here is what Money Ape eventually figured out, and what every person who actually escapes the treadmill eventually figures out too. The real golden banana, the one that doesn't disappear after 3 days, the one the brain doesn't adapt to, the one that keeps giving, is not the fancy apartment or the new car or the restaurant with the cloth napkins. It's waking up one day and realizing you have options. You have time. You could walk away from a job you hate and be okay. You could help someone in your family without it wrecking your finances. You could take a month and figure out what you actually want your life to look like. That banana? That one doesn't get filed as normal. That one feels like wealth every single morning you wake up with it. And Money Ape's slightly flawed, genuinely lovable. Once embarrassed by ordering the no price, thing ape that it is choosing that banana. One automated transfer at a time. If this episode made you think about money differently, share it with one person who needs to hear it. And remember, you're not behind. You're not broken. You just needed someone to show you the treadmill so you could decide whether to keep running or finally step off. Money Ape will see you in the next one.